Check it out, y'all. Today's video is gonna be the new Daniel Defense Mark 18, getting a gate, a warhead brushless, and we're gonna go. This is what they sound like right out the box. Stocky. So it's a stock Mark 18. So y'all gonna get to see firsthand of the insides of a Mark 18. So first I'm stripping it down. Take the suppressor off. Okay, so first off, what we're gonna do, we're gonna knock out the front pin. Get this upper receiver off. So I'm gonna have to push it out of the way from me when I do this. Got a little pressure on here. And a lot of times what I do is I use the forward assist. And that's how I get most of my uppers off. I'm not even gonna lie. Push the forward assist and I push the whole upper off. So I'm gonna take this upper and I'm gonna go ahead and lay it in the stock box over here. That way all the internals are with it. So I always take customers' parts and put them right back in their box. Because I know if I don't put it back in the box, I will lose it. I am a very busy person, and that's what happens to very busy people. So, we're going to go ahead and tear this off. And whenever I take guns apart, y'all, go ahead and get this hand grip off. Normally I'd be using my battery drill to do this, but my battery's dead, so I'm going old-fashioned today. And Daniel Defense is fairly new. Whether we're the first or the 100th, we're definitely going to be one of them, guys. So, Daniel Defense Mark 18 is what we got, boys and girls. Boys and girls. It looks like almost everything is Torx on the Daniel Defense. On Daniel's Defense. And the gearbox is going to look really tough if you ask me. All the screws are recessed. Look at there. It has an open spring. It looks like we have a functional bolt catch, bolt release, whatever you want to call it. So that's like that. Like that right there, y'all. And you don't got to go all the way out. You just shove it back enough to get it to where you can get the bolt release out. And what you do is you push down on the right side and then the bolt release will come out. Bolt catch, bolt release, I don't even know. Call it whatever you want to call it. I always get my stocks off by pulling this away. Right here, like this. So when they're new, they're slick. We'll blame it on that. Sounds good, man. Next thing's gonna be buffer tube. Let me look down in here because I noticed it says quick change spring. I'm gonna show y'all how I unscrew the AR nut. And they actually have a wrench for it. And this is for my people who don't have a wrench. Get a hammer and a punch, put it right on the edge of the nut. And usually they're not screaming tight. I'll show you what I'm talking about here. Usually it takes one good solid hit, and you could just unscrew your AR nut. If you have an AR tool, that's even better. It looks to me like it's unlocky. There you go. So I simply just pushed in. I loosened the nut. I'm gonna show you how I did it. I pushed in and turned it counterclockwise. No, that would be clockwise, and then it come right off. And that gets you to here, which is going to get you to your spring. And I don't know how it comes off yet. I will let you know in a moment. I'm gonna assume you probably stick an Allen through here and turn it. Well, what do you know? Stick the Allen right through the spring guide and loosen it. And that spring guide is super dry, so we'll be lubing that on the way back in. We're going to go ahead and take off our sling plate. I'm going to move this over so y'all can see what's going on here. Now I'm going to knock out my centering pin. What I look for is the teeth. As you can see, the teeth are right there, so we're going to knock it out the opposite way as the teeth. And I always use the same little skinny punch to just get it moving. Once you get it moving, usually you can push it out. Usually, I said. I didn't say every time. Usually they come right out. There you go, guys. All right, now we got the gearbox free. We're just gonna grab it. And it looks like we have a little plastic aligning tool there, so we're going to grab it, and we're going to slide it forward. We're going to get it here. Now, most EMG gearboxes are proprietary. I don't know about the Daniel Defense. It's looking like it is not a normal. It's looking more like a VFC gearbox to me than anything, which is great. The VFC gearboxes are wonderful. So I'm just gonna probably tell you this is probably not a proprietary gearbox. And it looks to me like this is not your normal EMG gearbox, although it does have a micro switch you can hear. This honestly looks like a VFC Avalon gearbox to me. So these things come out the box shooting just under 400 FPS, which is amazing. I don't know how tough they are yet. That had any break to be repaired yet, so can't tell you that. This is my first time going in one, so I don't know about any of the upgrades yet. We're gonna see how is the gate. Does it have to be ground? Am I gonna have to do any kind of mods to the gearbox? Honestly, it looks like a VFC gearbox to me, so it's probably gonna be a pretty easy gate install if it's anything like a VFC gearbox. It comes with bearings. I think that's pretty cool. So this is my tech view on the Daniel Defense. So that's basically the point of this video. Installing a gate. If you guys can install a gate and anything else, it looks like y'all can do it now. So go ahead and pop it loose now. Let's see what's up. Okay, I'm gonna take that screw out. I didn't realize that the safety kit was right there holding it down. That's kind of EMG-ish. It's like some parts are EMG, some parts are going to be VFC. This is a little mix. It's a little mix gun. Nothing wrong with that. It's got a little prototype going on here. I commend them for coming out with their own brand. It really looks like a tough gun. Tough replica. Oh my. And I've heard that it has 12 to 1s. So we're fixing to find out firsthand. Look at all that nice slick grease. And for being shot as hard as it's been shot, it looks really good. So there's your EMG. And I don't see a magnet, which makes me really happy. EMG's main downfall, or main proprietary parts, were the magnet in their gear, and they have a sensor that sits over the top of the gear that reads the cycles, kind of like a Gates laser. So I'm gonna check their shimming. I'm not like check their shimming, but I'm gonna just to see how good they shim from the factory. A lot of factories don't shim that good. They do use a lot of good grease. It's really sticky grease. I don't know if y'all could see that. I don't know what kind of grease that is, but it is really sticky. It's almost like super glue. So this is gonna be the telltale, will this gate fit in the Daniel Defense gearbox shell. So here we go. Y'all hang on for the ride, and I'll tell you. Actually, I won't have to tell you. You'll be able to tell me in a moment, as soon as I find the bit that I'm looking for. I could already tell you it's definitely gonna fit. I just don't know what kind of grinding we're gonna have to do, y'all. Honestly, if this was me, I would probably keep this because of that micro switch, but this isn't me. I'm doing this for someone else, so that micro switch setup is pretty awesome. He says, I don't drool. I'm not a dog. My name is John Smith. What are you, Pocahontas' boyfriend or something? I got somebody smart mouthing me on my channel. People love to give hate comments sometimes, so I think it's funny. I don't even let it bother me, y'all. EMG, cema, Daniel Defense. Good job on this, y'all. This is a really stout build. Fixing to welcome a Gate Titan into the family. Y'all hang tight, I'm grabbing it. Boo, 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 boo. Fixing to wake it up a little bit. Okay, here we go. Actually, I'm going to use one of my gates to fit it. I actually have a gate that I use just for fitment, but I don't know where I have put it at the moment. I have a gate that Gate has warranted for me. So it looks like this is going to be a little fat. And other than that, which is not a big deal, I can actually drill that right on out. Whoop, whoop, no big deal. So I drill that out. It looks like we got a winner, y'all. Let's give that a little bitty hole there. Zoop, a little zoop, zoop. Talking about this hole right here where the screw goes. Could grind that down flat and then put the screw in, which is just as good. Let me just do it that route, y'all. We're gonna grind this down smooth. Let me make sure I got enough threads on the other side. And wow, that is a square hole, y'all. Never seen a square hole. That's funny. All right, I'm grinding it. Turn y'all sound off. All right, y'all, the nub is now gone. So now we can take the gate and we can go ahead and place it in its new house, which is gonna be right there. Just so y'all can see how nice and pretty that sits. Now we're gonna get the screw kit out. And we can put the fitment gate back. Screw kit, we're not gonna need any stickers. I don't know if y'all noticed, or if you know, if there's a copper catch there, you can actually use it to reflect your gate. You don't have to have a sticker, so that's a plus. A little less modification to go. Where'd my screw go? There it is. Okay, so first always goes your metal washer on your screw on your gate. We're gonna drop on your metal one. Then we're gonna drop on the fiber one because we want the fiber one to touch. Now, they send you an extra washer to thicken the gap so the screw doesn't protrude to the other side and catch your selector plate, just because I'm more into, modification than I am actual just bolting together. But if the washer is perfect, I'm sure I'm talking about. Okay, so that one's fine. If it's fine, it's fine. We're gonna leave it alone. So there you go. They did send 2 packages of screws, so it could be a bigger size. I do want to check the screw hole before I just send it and see if a bigger screw will fit it, because these holes are square, which is very weird to me. And I'm gonna check this hole right here. I've never seen them make holes square. And I may even use a regular trigger, the one that came out of it, trigger screw, only because I wanted, yeah, see, that screw didn't fit very well. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna steal that washer. We're gonna steal our little fabric washer, and we're gonna use the actual original trigger screw. And washers, square. It's not a round hole, y'all. The hole is drilled square in the center. I've never seen one drilled that way before. I'm not saying it's bad, I'm just saying it's weird. Make sure we got a good tight one here. And we do not yet. This ain't working, y'all. This ain't working. Y'all get to see me struggle. How's that feel? No? All right. So y'all just learned with me to be careful with that screw. That whole square, I'm going to assume if I couldn't get it, what I was going to have to do is use some super glue or something. It would have had to been put in there. So we're going to go ahead and go back with our beautiful 12-to-1s. And as you can see, it is shimmed very well. So we're not going to bother the shimming. Shimming looks great. So go ahead and route the gate and show you guys how I route them. I'm sure you've already seen them before, but we'll show you again. What gate does is they put a twist in this wire right here. Don't know why, because it makes it super aggravating. So what I end up doing is turning it around, twisting it all the way back around like so. And I always route my 2 furthest wires away first. So this one could get tucked back. You're going to start with your wire that goes all the way to the back of your buffer tube, and then your little baby wire. And sometimes you have to take them back out and route the little baby wire first, which in this case is not going to be a bad idea because it needs to be protected from the bevel gear and the motor coming through. So we're going to throw that there, and then we're going to put, so we got the little baby wire first, just like this, little baby wire. Don't use a screwdriver to put these in, y'all. Use your fingers. Screwdriver is going to void the warranty because it's going to nick it, I promise. And gate's going to say no when you try to get a warranty on a nicked wire. So then, take it and go there. It's a little bitty divot sticking up right there. And I see what it's for, which is kind of cool. So what we're going to do is I'm going to use this to turn this wire here. Put a little divot in the wire, put a little spin down there. And we're going to tuck it back right there, underneath there. And we're going to go under there. So this is different than what I'm used to doing. Most of the time, I would just run these wires side by side, and that would be it. This actually has a notch for the bigger of the 2 wires. Like I said, don't use a screwdriver to poke the wire down in there. You can use it to do like it on the side, but don't use it to poke it in there, please, y'all. It's so tempting to want to just take it and poke it down in there, but I promise you, gate's gonna say no warranty, guys. Whenever you poke it and then something actually goes wrong with the gate that you did not do, they're gonna not warranty it for y'all. Oh well, it's not my design, so can't be faulting it too much. That's how it sits, y'all. It goes behind that post right there. Oh well, not my design once again. Ma? What is it? All right. Next, I'm going to show y'all that's the stock trigger. And I'm going to find a nice one for my friend Richie. And I'm going to make it super duper fast, of course. Why wouldn't I? Once I find what I'm looking for, right there. That's what I'm looking for. I'm about to super glue these stinking wires down, y'all. They keep popping up. And sometimes gates do this. The wires just love to jump up out of pocket. Wow, that is a nice looking cylinder head. Look at that sweet piston with a metal rack. These guns are built phenomenal, y'all. I'm not messing with this because it looks so intact and it's really, really, really built well. So the only thing I'm gonna do is the gate, and I may end up putting a different nozzle in it, although this nozzle, it works, feeds really well, so I may even leave that alone. But I'm sitting here looking at the cylinder head. Cylinder head is awesome. It's aluminum. The piston looks almost like a SHS piston, and it's got the mushroom piston head. So I think, like, I'm really impressed with this. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. Once I get him a sweet trigger, I think he is gonna be getting shut back together. Let me stand up and find a nice trigger for this build. And I had one that I was eyeballing. I wonder how he would like that one, huh? I know who would like it. Me. Jeez, Jay, that is a nice one. Dude, giving away all your nice triggers. Sometimes I wonder if I'd just shut up and just build and let y'all just watch. But I like to try to explain stuff for you guys and girls. I like to... That's a lot more snappy. So y'all at least know the reason behind what I do. It takes a lot of guesswork out, you know? Alright, y'all. See anything I left out? Holler if you do. If not, let's do it. Don't play with me right now, trigger. This trigger's too tight already. Daggone it. Didn't realize it was going to be a fitment issue here. Hold the phone, hold the phone. This really isn't that big of a deal, but I need to know before I try to close this box. Yeah, that cema gearbox is very, don't know why, but it's very tight on this side of the box, and this side is not. This side's very loose. Let me look at that trigger. Would you look at there? Two different sizes. So they got the Mr. Big one, and then they got Mr. Okay. We're going with a different trigger. I hate to do it, but it's what you got to do sometimes. I'm gonna find him a good one. Don't worry, y'all. How you like that one? I like it. Other people are gonna just see it as an ARP9 trigger. It's not really anything special.
Dad.
All right, so we're gonna finish up the trigger, and then let's make sure our trigger has some good response, but also very soft. And as you can see, I'm putting in a speed trigger, and it's a beautiful one. What kind of nice guy am I? Give up one of my good speed triggers to my friend. Airsoft. So, here we go. This is for all my wonderful people. All right. Get that in. Get that in. Get that in. Triggers in. That's in. That's in. Let's make sure we got plenty of room here for the bevel. That's it, y'all. Wait a minute. I thought that was it. Trigger's touching the wiring. I don't like that. It's touching something. Let me see what it's touching here. Okay, it's touching the gate. So we gotta be careful with that. I just figured something out that y'all probably need to know. This has to be trimmed or it's gonna hit the gate. So the corner right there has got to be cut out. So I'm gonna stop the video because it's gonna be super loud. I'm gonna notch that for the gate. So as you can see, I've notched it out. It's just a rough cut to check it. See if that fits. If it does, then we're in the money. Let's see here. Getting a gate to fit can be sometimes trial and error. Show you what we got here. We have a clear path now. As long as you can get it to close, then you're in good shape. So I'm gonna go ahead and put our screws back in. And I don't know what my dog's over here doing behind me. He's making some funny noises. Can almost guarantee he's chewing up something of mine. Excuse me, y'all. That is a beautiful trigger. Good thing is he'll be able to adjust it however he likes and get the trigger pull that he likes. So it looks to me like doing a gate in a Daniel Defense is definitely doable. It's not a EMG gearbox like most. So check all of the fitment. So if you have a Daniel Defense and you want to know will a gate fit, the answer is yes. And the rest is going to be me putting it back together. So if you want to watch the rest of the video, hang in there and you get to see it shooting at the end. Now, so since it is a gate and safety is controlled by the MOSFET, I did remove the mechanical safety. You won't need it. Your safety's turned on and off by the selector. So a lot of people probably wondering, what about the safety? You took the safety out. Well, on a gate, you don't need a safety. So get away. He's over here trying to chew up my stuff. I don't like it at all, y'all. All right, we're going to go ahead and put the functional bolt catch back on. It sits right there. It sits right there. Then it catches in this notch here. And then you just kind of push it down to it. Kind of locks right here. They're kind of a little tricky sometimes. No big deal. If I can get my fingers to work this morning. I can't even get my fingers to cooperate, y'all. there we go. And then we're going to put our screw back in there. Now you, oopsie, I just messed up. There you go. Now you got a functional bolt catch. Got a functional trigger. Really quick, let's check our shimming. It's freely moving. There's your Daniel Defense gearbox with a gate with 2 very small cuts. Not very hard at all to do. The gate had to be trimmed at the front. Trying to make sure no metal pieces are going to fall off here. And come back and file that whenever I'm off camera for you guys. So we had 2 small cuts. As I said before, as long as you got this brass piece, you don't have to put the sticker on. It's just a reflector. So you got safe, semi, full. As long as it has something to reflect off of, you're good to go. So, with that being said, we're going to go ahead and drop it back in the body and get that brushless motor installed. This is going to be fun, y'all. This is going to be fun. Oh crap, I may have to Dremel out this body. I got to check it because this trigger, I forgot, is a extra large trigger. Let's see here. Is it going to work? Is it going to work? Ooh, it doesn't have to be Dremeled. How nice. Let me see if I can fit the shim back in here. I hate these stupid little shims. So you got this little shim here that goes there. It just kind of keeps it from rattling around in the gearbox. So, alright, JJ, get it in there. Sometimes it helps. I don't know if y'all seen me turn this a little bit to semi. Sometimes it helps to just kind of wiggle that around to get your gearbox to drop in. And as you can see, the teeth were on this side. I always try to go back to where the teeth were before. It just makes it easier to install the pin, and then I give it a hit with a rubber mallet. Gotta go crazy with it. But you do have to have it. That is what centers your gearbox. So let me move all these triggers that I was testing in this nozzle, which was too short. People don't realize what goes into custom builds, but as y'all can see from this video, it's a lot, isn't it? It's testing, trial and error, but the reward is worth it in the end. All right, let's get these screws in the grip. And I usually don't tell my secrets, but I'll tell you a little secret right here. If you'll look down the hole where the motor goes through, this grip can actually be moved left and right to line up the aluminum in the gearbox with the hole in the grip. If you get that misaligned, you're going to have a hard time getting your motor to go in, and it's not going to slide freely in and out. And it's going to cause screeching. So, just a little tip there for you. Just a little nugget. All right, so we're going to go from there. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and do our bolt catch. And it lays. It's not going to be easy for you guys to see, but it actually lays up in there. And what you have to do is push down on the bolt catch to get it to kind of lock in. And then you slide your pin in here. Right like that. Excuse me, y'all. It's early in the morning and I'm stuffy. This mirrors that trigger look pretty sweet. I think it looks pretty swift, y'all. Excuse me. All right. Let's go ahead and get our mag release on. Y'all, this is going to be pretty sweet. I think this is going to be a beauty. All right. I got it started, so now I'm going to go ahead and tighten it up. Don't ever go too crazy with these, just a little extra. Oh, yes, that is very nice, y'all. Very, very nice. Very nice. Now, here's our spring. They come with 2 different springs. I don't have the spare spring that came with this one. It was taken out of the box before I received it. So, I don't know. Well, this one was shooting 400, so we're going to let it be. It's right under 400. So, as y'all can see, I put a little grease on there because when I took this out, I don't know if I remember, it was real screechy. Take an Allen, stick it through there. Give a little extra. So, if we wanted to get this out without taking off the buffer tube, oh, it doesn't matter. All you do is loosen the nut and take. I forgot this buffer tube's quick change. Watch this, y'all. If you didn't catch the first part of the video, you're definitely going to appreciate this part. Let's see if I can get it to do it on the first try. It was clockwise. And then, come on. Come on, GG. See if I can do it without that one. Boom. I'm going to put the sling plate on first because I'm a dummy and I'm sitting here more worried about getting the motor lined up. I mean, I don't know why I keep saying motor, the buffer tube lined up. You lay the wires in this bottom notch. There's a notch for them. You lay it up there, and you kind of give a little bit of a push here. It's definitely going to be tight. You lock it back. Now you're ready, set to go. Now you tighten up your AR nut. And I'll tighten that up whenever I'm finished. But y'all see how quick change that is, which is amazing. Now y'all ready to see me drop in a warhead? What's a warhead, you say? Well, this is a warhead. For one, y'all can't tell by the video, but it doesn't weigh anything. For two, it's not magnetic. I want to show you a stock motor here. It's a stock motor. And it's very heavy. Of course, it has stuff hooked to it, but warhead, nothing. I'm going to just say it's probably weighing in the grams. So, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and route my motor wires. And the positive is on this side, the shorter of the two. So we're going to go ahead and drop it in first. Ooh, I am so glad I just seen that. So, I don't know if y'all noticed what just happened. I stuck this warhead in there. When I did, the pinion fell off. Now, the pinion really doesn't have anywhere to go once you put this in. It's tapered. It's not going to come off unless you pull it out. Now, the problem with that is it can wear really, really bad on the bevel and on this pinion. And it being loose can cause lots of trouble and even breakage. So, I just seen it happen just now. And I've had not a warhead, but I've had an option 1 come off before. So, learn from my lesson just now to make sure to tighten this screw. And I'm going to go ahead and tell you right now, just tightening it is not enough. You're going to have to put some Loctite on there. I've had this happen to me, and you have to Loctite it. And I would probably use medium strength, because if you ever want to change your pinion, you're not going to be able to change it if you use permanent Loctite. So I do have medium strength right here. This is the blue. And go ahead and screw it in there. Now take it and tighten it up. Okay, I'm going to wipe that off. Now that's going to dry. You don't want to run it right away. You want to let it sit for at least 20 minutes or so. So we're going to stick it in and see what happens. I'll see how smooth that is, by the way. That's because the way the grip is aligned. It's nothing to do with... Now, this is critical on a gate installation. If you've never installed a gate, there's a split in the connector right here. You have to bend it toward that split. You bend it at a 90-degree angle to plug into your motor. If you bend it backwards, the very next time you bend it, it will break. I promise. And if you call gate and say, my motor connector broke, they're going to say, send me pictures. And when they receive the pictures and they see you bent it the wrong way, they're going to say, we're sorry, you can't warranty it, because in the manual it says to bend it the other way. So just a little note for you right there. If you're doing this yourself, follow the directions. Trust me, it'll be worth it. If something does happen to the gate, it's not your fault. Okay? Okay. Okay? Okay. All right. Option 1. No, my bad. Warhead. Someone's already plugged this in, and they've bent the connector already, plugging it in. The warhead motor, so that makes it a lot harder for me, because you pretty much get one chance with a warhead. They're kind of sticky whenever it comes to their motor connectors. So yeah. And what have we here? Are we good? Are we not good? Cannot tell. We're not good, because this isn't fitting that well. So what I'm going to have to do is tighten these pins up just a little bit, like that. Okay. And gently, ever so gently plug it in. Gently, ever so gently, plug it in. It's a tight squeeze, y'all. No doubt. All right, let's make sure our wires are going in correctly. Looks like they are. Let's make sure we're still plugged in. Looks like we are. Let's try to back this screw out a little bit here. There we go. Just to make sure we got it plugged in all the way. All right, y'all. We're tight. Now we gotta adjust this motor height. And where is all my Allens? Ever since I moved over here, I can't find my Allens. Well, here we go. Maybe. Okay, we'll back it off. Now we're going to tighten it down. and back it off a bit right there. All right, we're gonna give it a quick test. All right, we gotta do some programming, and we'll be right back. All right, y'all, so I'm gonna show you what I did. Well, I'll just tell you what I did. I went into the gate link and I turned it from normal speed to high speed. I put my adaptive braking on for active braking. I also changed a few other settings, which are top secret, and I had to recalibrate the selector. So the selector was reading full here, and safe was actually semi. So now it's safe, semi, full, and that's it. So we're gonna put the upper on, and we'll see what kind of FPS we're getting out of this old boy. So there's your Daniel Defense with a brushless warhead and a gate tighten, easily done. There it is, tightened up. My AR nut, and now I'm gonna go ahead and put on the upper receiver. So there we go. Welcome back to service, Mr. Mark 18. Hope you're ready to play. Sorry, y'all gotta get this pin in real quick, and I'll be right back with you. So there you go. It's Mark 18. Daniel Defense. Functional bolt release. Let's go ahead and put his suppressor on. He's got a quick change suppressor. And we're going to go ahead and throw on his buffer tube. Stock. I lost the buffer tube. Okay. So there you go. That's the Daniel Defense Mark 18. We'll do a chrono test in a second. All right, so this is the Daniel Defense chrono video. And this is after a gate tighten, a warhead motor, and a few other upgrades. All right, so stock spring, 385, 381, 387, 382. So there it is, all done. Daniel Defense Mark 18 with a gate tighten speed trigger and a few other upgrades. So here you go.